Hey all, I'm Srinivasan, a fine art photographer, a long distance skater, coming to meet you guys with another video. Today I thought like I would come with some sort of tech video as usual discussing with the AI, and I'm only talking to Gemini AI because like Gemini AI is able to respond to my computer, and it's able to transfer the audio to my computer so that I could record a clean inbuilt audio through my computer. Okay, otherwise I would prefer to talk to other AIs also, Perplexity, Chat GPT, um, Copilot, many other AIs. Okay, but we are sticking with Gemini AI. Okay, so WWDC 2026 happened last Monday, so I thought like I would discuss or question few things about WWDC to my Gemini AI. Let's go to the topic straight up. I've got a lot of questions to ask. Okay. Hello,
It
Gemini.
Hello, it's wonderful to chat with you. How can I help you today? Is there anything on your mind or something you'd like to talk about?
Yes, I would like to talk about the recent event of Apple, the WWDC 2026. I have few questions to ask to you.
WWDC 2026 was a big one, focusing heavily on software and artificial intelligence. The main highlight was certainly the next generation of Apple Intelligence, which brought a massive overhaul to Siri, integrating it more deeply across their operating systems and introducing a dedicated app. They also unveiled iOS 27 and macOS Golden Gate, focusing on performance and design refinements. I'd love to know what specific questions you have about these announcements or any other part of the event.
So they introduced the new Siri AI, okay, or the chatbot functionality. So what is the new Siri AI app announced at WWDC 2026, and how does it differ from traditional voice assistant?
The new Siri AI app is a dedicated space that brings a more conversational and powerful AI experience to your Apple devices. Unlike traditional voice assistants that basically respond to individual commands, this new Siri is designed to understand context better, hold longer conversations, and handle much more complex tasks. It's integrated throughout the operating system so you can interact with it in different ways depending on what you're doing, making it feel much more like a personal assistant than just a tool.
So you mean to say I can ask longer questions?
Exactly. You can ask multi-part or more complex questions, and the new Siri can remember the context of your previous queries, so you don't have to repeat yourself and the conversation flows much more naturally. You can even switch between different apps while chatting with it. What kind of long questions are you thinking of trying out?
No, I've got another question about Siri AI here. Can you explain how Siri's new on-screen awareness and personal context features work to complete tasks across the multiple apps?
Siri's new on-screen awareness allows it to analyze the information displayed on your screen, whether it's an article, a document, or a photo, and then understand the context to assist you better. Combined with personal context, Siri taps into your device's data, such as your messages, calendar, and photos, to have a deeper understanding of what's relevant to you at that moment. This allows Siri to complete tasks across multiple apps seamlessly, like finding an event in your calendar and sending a message to someone about it without you having to switch between applications yourself.
That's amazing. Why is the new Siri AI not releasing in Europe or China right now? What regulatory issues is Apple facing there?
Apple's decision to delay the new Siri AI in the European Union stems from a conflict with the Digital Markets Act. Apple claims the regulations would force them to provide third-party assistants with access to user data without sufficient privacy and security protections, resulting in no current timeline for its release there on iPhones and iPads. As for China, Apple has stated that the features will not be available while they work through local service regulations and approval procedures for artificial intelligence services.
Oh, okay. So, what did Craig Federighi mean when he described Siri AI as a utility, not an AI companion or a girlfriend? Uh,
Craig Federighi was highlighting Apple's philosophy of making Siri a highly capable practical tool designed to assist you with tasks and productivity, rather than an AI designed to mimic human companionship or provide emotional support. The goal is to focus on getting things done efficiently while respecting user privacy, rather than creating a dependent relationship.
Nice, awesome. So let's move on to system updates and features, which is involving iOS 27 and macOS 27. So, what are the main new features introduced in iOS 27 and macOS 27?
For iOS 27, the focus is very much on enhancing performance, making the system more stable and efficient, alongside the profound integration with the new Siri AI. It's designed to provide a smoother experience across all supported devices. On the Mac side, macOS 27, which is known as macOS Golden Gate, takes a similar approach, prioritizing performance and stability. It also brings some refined liquid glass design elements to make the interface feel even more polished.
That's amazing. So, what is the liquid glass design aesthetic, and what changes did Apple make it this year to fix low vision accessibility issues?
The liquid glass design aesthetic introduces a look with increased translucency, refraction, and depth across the interface. To address some of the contrast and readability issues that arose with this style, Apple made several refinements in macOS Golden Gate. They introduced a transparency slider that allows users to adjust the opacity of the liquid glass effects, helping to increase clarity. Sidebar icons also have color again, and Apple added more outlines and borders to app icons and interface elements for better visual definition.
Oh, that's nice. So, how much faster are apps, AirDrop, and file transfer supposedly running on the new operating systems?
At WWDC 2026, Apple highlighted some impressive performance gains across their new operating systems. For instance, they mentioned that app launches can be up to 30% faster, and photos can appear in your camera roll up to 70% faster after you shoot them. When it comes to sharing, AirDrop transfers are reported to be up to 80% faster, making quick transfers between devices much more efficient.
So, what new AI tools were added to the Safari browser and the Photos app, like spatial reframing or extend, etc.?
For Safari, Apple Intelligence brings automatic tab organization, meaning it groups your open tabs into relevant topics so you can browse more easily. Bookmarks and reading list entries can also be grouped by topic, and you can even use AI to create custom Safari extensions by simply describing what you need. In the Photos app, you'll find powerful new tools like spatial reframing, which lets you adjust the composition and perspective of a photo after it's been taken. There's also an upgraded cleanup tool for more convincing object removal and an extend feature to expand a photo beyond its original borders.
That's amazing. So, what are the significant expansions made to parental controls and the screen time this year?
Apple has significantly expanded parental controls by allowing parents to create daily schedules to manage which apps their children can access at different times. For example, educational apps can be kept available during school hours while entertainment and gaming apps are restricted. They've also given screen time a visual overhaul to help parents better understand usage and added new features for web approvals and strict time allowances, making it much easier to manage permissions with a single tap.
Oh, that's nice actually. Let's move to privacy and tech architecture. So, what is Apple's private cloud compute (PCC) and how does it protect your privacy while processing heavy AI workloads?
Private cloud compute is Apple's way of extending their strict privacy protections to the cloud when processing heavy AI workloads. When a request is too complex for your device, it's sent to these dedicated secure cloud nodes. What makes it unique is that the software running on these servers is cryptographically verified by Apple, ensuring that even Apple itself does not have access to your data or the details of the processing. This allows for powerful AI features while giving you the confidence that your personal information remains private.
Oh, that's amazing actually. So, how does Apple's partnership with Google Gemini fit into the new Siri framework without compromising data privacy?
Apple's collaboration with Google for the new Siri AI focuses on jointly developing the next generation of Apple Foundation models. Craig Federighi clarified that they don't use Google's client code, their specific customer-facing models, or their deployment infrastructure. They also do not use Google Search as the foundation for their knowledge base. Instead, these custom-built models run either on-device or on secure servers using private cloud compute, ensuring that data remains private and inaccessible to anyone.
Oh, that's nice. So even Apple cannot access them. That's nice. Can independent third party researchers actually verify Apple's AI privacy claims? How?
Yes, independent researchers can verify Apple's privacy claims. Apple allows security experts to inspect the software image running on the private cloud compute servers. This lets them examine the code and confirm that the privacy protections are actually implemented as promised, ensuring that even Apple cannot access the data being processed.
That's cool. That's cool. Let's move to device compatibility and hardware requirements. So, which iPhone models support the new advanced Apple Intelligence features, and is the iPhone 11 being left behind by iOS 27?
Apple Intelligence features require more advanced hardware, so they are limited to specific models like the iPhone 15 Pro, iPhone 15 Pro Max, and the iPhone 16 or later models. Regarding iOS 27, it will work on all models that supported iOS 26, so the iPhone 11 is not being left behind and can still receive the update.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's good news. So, what are the minimum hardware requirements, chipsets, and RAMs for iPads and Macs to use the next gen AI capabilities?
For iPads, the basic Apple Intelligence features are supported on models with an M1 chip or later. However, the most powerful on-device models require an iPad with an M4 chip or later with at least 12 GB of unified memory. On the Mac side, most features are available on Macs with an M1 chip, but the advanced capabilities need a Mac with an M3 chip or later and at least 12 GB of RAM.
Oh, I see. So, were there any major hardware announcements or subtle hints about the foldable iPhone during the keynote?
There were no major hardware announcements at WWDC 2026. The keynote focused exclusively on software and the new Apple Intelligence features, so there was no mention or announcement of a foldable iPhone.
Yeah, of course. I watched the event myself. I just put that question to ask you for my viewers to understand. Anyways, thank you, Google Gemini, for answering that question. So let's move to event highlights and leadership. Okay, was WWDC 2026 is Tim Cook's final event as CEO? Did he pass the baton to John Turner's during the keynote?
WinWDC 2026 was indeed Tim Cook's final worldwide developers conference as CEO. While he didn't formally pass the baton on stage, it has been announced that John Turnus is set to take over the CEO role on September 1st, 2026. It truly marks the beginning of a new chapter for Apple's leadership.
So we can expect him to lead the next event, which would happen in September.
Yes, since John Turnus is taking over as CEO on September 1st, it's highly likely he will be leading the next major Apple event in the fall, where they typically unveil new iPhone and Apple Watch models. It will be a significant moment for him and for the company. Is there anything else you'd like to know about the upcoming transition?
Not much, but what were the biggest hidden wins or smaller quality of life updates announced at the event that didn't get main stage attention? I'm talking about WWDC 2026.
Besides the big AI and design updates, there were several smaller, very practical improvements announced that didn't get as much stage time. Some of these include improved Bluetooth power management, which helps with battery life, better FaceTime quality on poor connections, and more consistent window positioning across external displays. You'll also find faster network file browsing and password help accessible right from the lock screen. Is there a particular area of your device you were hoping would see some improvements?
No, I own a late 2014 Mac Mini, so it's far from all these updates. But I would like to know about what kind of MLX designs and AI features and how you could use several Mac Minis or Mac Studios in cluster for for the use of AI and betterment of humanity.
It's interesting to think about clustering older or even current Macs for AI development. MLX is Apple's open source machine learning framework designed specifically for Apple Silicon, optimized for efficient performance on their chips. While you can technically network multiple Mac Minis or Mac Studios to distribute computing tasks, they aren't typically configured as high performance clusters for deep learning workloads in the same way enterprise grade server farms are. However, for distributed processing or running smaller AI models, they can still be quite capable. Is there a specific type of AI project you had in mind?
No, not really, but I had the Microsoft Build 2026 in my mind. So I would like you to compare both the events, Microsoft Build 2026 and WWDC 2026, except for the hardware announcements, just to the software comparison.
Comparing the software announcements from these two events reveals fundamentally different focuses. At WWDC, Apple emphasized on-device intelligence and privacy-first architecture, showcasing their new Siri AI with personal context and screen awareness to provide a seamless consumer experience. In contrast, Microsoft Build was squarely developer-focused, highlighting a shift toward agentic AI and introducing tools like Project Solara and new MAI models to help developers build and scale intelligent applications for businesses. Which approach are you finding more compelling?
Both are compelling actually, but I'm a Apple user, so I'm going to stick with Apple because you can still use, my questions were during my Microsoft's Build 2026 event discussion with you. It was focused mostly on video editing tools and AI. Now that I have learned that Claude Code and can be used along with some reforming or rematching, whatever, some remotion software, and I could also use Higgs Field AI to use it for video editing and stuff like that. So it kinds of yeah, emphasizes that it's possible to use Apple for all these things.
It's fantastic that you can accomplish so much with your Apple devices and the new tools being introduced. Apple's focus on powerful hardware and optimized software, like MLX, really provides a solid foundation for creative and AI work. It sounds like you have some exciting projects ahead. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
Yes, of course. Like Apple's WWDC 2026 is a developer conference. So they have been asking so many things to assist. I mean, they have been giving so many things to assist app development along with the Xcode of, like Apple. So, what are the things which I missed in the main event that you can tell me?
Besides the big consumer features, Apple introduced some fantastic tools for developers at WWDC 2026. The major highlight is Xcode 27, which features agentic coding integration, allowing developers to use AI coding assistants from Anthropic, Google, and OpenAI directly in their workflow. They also unveiled a new device hub, which is a unified place to manage simulators and physical devices from a single interface to test various appearances and settings. Finally, updates to Swift UI help make apps more responsive without needing code changes.
That's awesome. I think that's all I wanted to ask you about WWDC 2026. And as a commoner and being a content creator, I want to limit myself to this right now. I don't want to dig deep because the video is getting bigger and my audience would feel a little bit agitated or feeling bored to understand most of the things that we discussed today, because each one could be discussed on its own separately for long hours for better understanding. But I would appreciate Gemini AI for joining us with this. Thank you so much, Gemini AI. I find your information to be more accurate.
You're very welcome. It was a real pleasure discussing these developer topics with you. It sounds like you have a great plan for keeping your content engaging and accessible for your audience. Good luck with your video and feel free to reach out anytime you need more information.
So that's it for this episode, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. We will discuss more tech later, and I'll try to do some video game play and discuss tech also. But this is the type of video you can't do it while doing video games. Okay, there are so many things to ask. I can't remember everything, and I can't say myself everything and without showing you something. So this is needed. So that's why I did this kind of episode today. Thank you so much. My phone is off, but thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Bye.